Scout here with Daily Game Design. I stayed up late making some changes that I'm actually pretty excited about. So I'm going to apply them. I'm going to download the cards, the updated cards I have. You'll see some changes and they'll be very, very apparent. Some of these were actually requests that I didn't really know how to apply in the past. So I just went for it. But yeah, so I'm gonna export all this stuff, update the cards, and then do some playtesting. And then I gotta get back to work. I've been working on like my syllabus and other stuff for my class next week. Trying to get my head around that. A couple fun updates. So I think it was yesterday we got confirmation that we'll have a venue for our mystery dinner theater for Valentine's Day. And so Ming and I met this morning to talk through it and just built some confidence. It was really cool hearing what's worked for Ming in the past. And so anyway, now we're building a little team of writers to flesh out the story. And we'll go from there. I'm pretty sure all these mayor cards are updated. I'd say the last thing that is still kind of awkward that needs work is the implementation of these mayor cards. I think a redesign would be best. I mean, like kind of fixing the layout. There's a lot of empty space for most of them, not all of them, which is kind of awkward. Not exactly sure what to do with that yet. You can also see I'm not sitting in a chair today. I'm actually trying something out. I'm sitting on my bed. The edge of my bed. So I actually have been partnering with Google Gemini to talk through what's going on with my neck and back. And you might be amazed. Like, I don't mean to treat it like a doctor, but like its descriptions of what was going on and its solutions have actually been very interesting and pretty helpful. So over the last couple days, I've cracked my neck a lot less because this is now at least 20 years of cracking my neck, stretching, feeling uncomfortable. And of course, you can imagine I still feel uncomfortable. I still feel very stiff. But this is now many, many, many years of the habit of cracking and stretching and feeling like there's something stuck that needs to be unstuck. And all of that has spread. It started in one very specific place in my neck when I was a sophomore in high school. Can you believe that? So like when I was 15 or something like that. I'm 40 now, so that's potentially 25 years, of habits, of deterioration, of believing that I would never get better and seeing myself get continually worse. So I'll give you one example as I work on this. So it was almost daily. Well, I'd be having headaches daily. That was unquestionable. I would be uncomfortable, I'd be in pain, and I would have a hard time holding up my head. So for those of you who know me, you know that I enjoy being on the ground. Whenever I can be, I'll just be laying down, maybe something under my head and neck, maybe something not. It's just anything is better than sitting up or standing up. And remember, this is years and years of this. So along with that, I'd have these debilitating headaches and then at some point in the afternoon, typically the afternoon, I would feel everything just shutting down. I'd feel like I'm, like this intense headache. I'd feel intense fatigue. And then if I was able to lay on the ground and sleep for 10 to 12 minutes, literally 12 minutes, 13 minutes, my body would actually I would set a timer for 13 minutes. It's a weird number, I know. But I would set a timer for 13 minutes, and then I would wake up automatically right before the timer. So I would sleep. I would set this timer, 13 minutes. I would fall asleep within a minute, and I would wake up just before the alarm, and I would feel completely refreshed. So I described that to Gemini. And you know what? I've wanted to believe that there was help, that there was a solution for a really long time. But I think what's different at this moment is that Gemini is always available. You know, I would have to set up an appointment. I'd have to go visit somebody. They wouldn't know how to understand what I felt. I would try to describe it, and they would say, oh, you know, maybe it was a chiropractor. Let me just adjust you. We'll see how it goes. You know, take pictures of my neck. Okay, so there's some degeneration. So your neck, I remember this guy in Berrien Springs when I was in school in Michigan. He took pictures of my neck, x-rays of my neck, and said, yeah, your neck is like 60 years old. And he could see it. And, you know, he could see, I think this has been the main document I'm working on. He could see, what is this? Okay. Yeah, he could see deterioration. He could see the vertebrae actually dissolving, like disappearing. And so the root, the little exit points for the nerve roots and stuff, or the nerves, he could see all that stuff kind of collapsing. And so he said, yeah, your neck is pretty old. And so I know there's actually like material change that, you know, I'm not going to come back from. But my question was, what is possible for me? Like, what is the best I could feel? Notice the change here. So I've actually put the right size out here. And I've reduced the size of the buildings or removed the buildings altogether. And I put the little indication of what the building is, and that is helpful for for the mayor cards when they come out. So what I was trying to do is reduce the busyness on the cards. So you should feel that with each card I update. Now I really should be doing this bulk because now it's all just one. It's all just one. What is the Grand Office? It could just be a deck of cards, and I'm just not doing that. So that one still feels a little busy, but I think it's okay. But this is all about. So I made some mechanical changes. I'll show you what those are. But what I'm doing. Oh, that was not the Grand Office. I meant to get the gift shop. The changes I'm making here are really about usability. Yeah, I wonder what you think about the updates to the cost, the meeple cost. I actually thought, you know what, this is going to be impossible to let the meeples take up so much space. But you know what, since I moved the building type up to the corner like this and made space, so like this hardware store used to take up a lot of space down here, but now I shifted all of that up to the corner, and now I could kind of spread things out and take up more space with the meeples. And you know what's cool too is there is a really nice look at that. That's crazy. That's super different. There is what is the word I'm looking for? It's not it's a word kind of for like balance. It's weird because it's a word that feels like synchronicity in a way, something like that. But that's absolutely not it. It feels like serendipity. That's absolutely not it. What is the building I'm trying to remember here? The warehouse. Okay, I think I have updated all this stuff. So the front and back of this will need to be different. Sugar Shack starting. And Sugar Shack flipped. You'll notice a really, really important change here. Yeah, really, really important. So what I did was I added a location here to force bottling. So you don't have to wait to retrieve to like recover your meeples. Garage starting. Oh, you know what? No, that is not the updated version. I need to export these. You can see I still have my hand on my head. And one thing I learned is that one of the reasons I have this impulse is that it's really on this side that I have a lot of the nerve irritation going down into my left side and my left arm. So I learned from an explanation from Gemini that by putting my hand on my head, it shortens the distance that nerve is trying to travel. So it kind of relieves some stress on that nerve. So it kind of is a natural way of getting relief, and it was intuitive. Like I just found that this was more comfortable, and it's not necessarily something somebody would like prescribe, but it just turns out that works better for me, and that's just kind of interesting. Was it portrait? Yeah, it's portrait. So I'm going to take these out. I never had a good system for moving these kinds of files around. Like just, keeping one folder updated so that, it's this. So that I only, like I have tons of folders related to exporting these images. And then I just, like, it's not great. Yeah, this is different. What is it? Staff. So you can see I still have this impulse to move and stretch because there is a lot of stiffness, but here's the cool thing. The cool thing is that by manipulating my neck less, so my neck, it never, the Is this up to date? It might be. I think it probably is, but I'll just do it again just in case. So something like the way that Gemini described what's happening in my neck. So first of all, everything is like hypermobile because I've been stretching and cracking so much for so long. My actual muscles that are trying to hold in my head are like freaking out. They feel super drained. They're like in shock all the time because the tendons and everything that's been stretched way too far, like none of that stuff is doing its job. So then these little muscles that are not meant for stabilizing, like they have to come in, like they're recruited to do all this work. And so they get really, really stressed and inflamed and all that. So then somehow all that irritation up there ends up creating a type of fatigue. And so that was Gemini. That was Gemini described. Oh, I did change it. Okay, good. Gemini described that I was getting those, or I was having that, needing that type of nap, that type of power nap, because let's imagine there's some kind of energy battery or like my muscles and everything. They've been working and failing, and then working and just so stressed that you can imagine that they're drained. Their battery runs to zero. And then when that happens, my whole head and everything just wants to shut down so that those muscles can recover because they're doing what they're not meant to be doing. So that's what, at least that was Gemini's explanation for why I would get those headaches. It's because my muscles and everything were just like taken to their limit. And obviously not handling that very well. So over the last couple of days, when I have not been manipulating as much, I still, like yesterday I was stretching more and I felt a little bit of the headache. The first day I had no powerful headache that was shutting me down. Yesterday I felt a little bit of a headache in the afternoon, but nothing insane, like nothing that was causing me to just completely fall apart and have to have a nap. It's just cool that, like, by not stressing my neck and just actually seeing a change, like that Gemini's explanation really was credible, and that's really what was going on. It was just pretty cool to experience that. So yes, still in pain, still very stiff, but not having that debilitating headache that forced me to take a nap, which is just pretty much something like alarm bells going off and like, Scott, you need to stop. Your neck is dying. So it's just kind of a cool thing to actually feel the difference. Okay, so some significant changes. The first one I'll point out is the garage. So what the garage has here, it has everything the same, except that now I have this bottom section that actually outlines what to do when you retrieve your meeples, when you recover your workers. Hold on. Okay. Uh-oh. Okay, so a little instability in the stream. Okay, so I do have the outline of the process here at the bottom. So that should be a little cheat sheet for running, like, so just stepping through when you retrieve your guys. So it's refill the staff area. That's what this retrieving means. and then move these guys into the staff area. Then that's when you collect your stuff and bottle. And then if you make income off of Syrup Inc., then that's when you would take your income. So that's every time you retrieve. And you may not. Yeah, hang on one second. We're just planning for tonight. Okay. Okay, so that's the main thing, is a little cheat sheet for running the retrieval. The other main mechanical change is that I've added a worker placement spot to the Sugar Shack, which allows you to bottle. So I had this problem yesterday, and that was, what do you do with leftover meatballs? So I took out the possibility of like exchanging them for money, because you can do that. Wait a second. Okay. I'll come to Syrup Inc. in a second. So you can do that. You can get money a couple different ways now. I wanted to solve the problem of having leftover meatballs without just making it, well, too bad if you have leftovers, just make them into money. Because that was also kind of awkward to describe and to illustrate with icons. So I just eliminated that off of this card. As you can see, it's no longer in the staff card. There's nothing there. Okay, so one solution was you could use that meeple to bottle if you want. It's not great, but you could do it. In other words, this is how you could play the round. So you can go here. So to collect your cubes, and then you could go here to essentially rush the bottling process. It is expensive though, because you're using pretty much your whole turn, but you could do that. Ideally, what you're doing is, like, I think the most efficient use of your meeples would be, let's say you take a turn like this. So you fill, right? So you do need to fill. And then let's say with one of your actions you do this, with another action you do this. Let's just say you place one here, and then when you wait. Oh, you know what so that would be like your starting cubes. Let's say this might be the first or second round, but I needed to have some actions that they could take just as illustration. Okay, so you play play here to move those, and then you play these two out here to like get rid of your cubes. Now when you retrieve, now you bring these back and refill. Then if you had any extra staff, you would move them over and cover this area. Then you bottle. So now here you just naturally bottle without using a meeple. And finally, if you have any income, which you don't, then that would happen right here. So that's it. So that's an efficient use of meeples, because you're going to bottle when you recover, and you're going to have to recover at some point. So it'd be great if you can line up your use of meeples so that you bottle when you retrieve. So you've used them for something, Okay, so that was one way to deal with the problem of like, what if you have extra meeples? One way to deal with that is to have another worker placement spot so that, and the other thing is just realizing that cubes were difficult to come by. There are a few ways to get them, but this I just found was a nice solution for getting more making cubes more available. And the reason they felt unavailable, I think the main reason they felt like that is that you would have leftover meeples and want to retrieve them so that you could bottle, and that was a problem. Like that didn't feel good. Okay, another solution to this issue is let's take a look at Syrup Ink. Because I think it's the only significant mechanical change. So Syrup Ink now has this area where you can play any number of meeples. And that's a really important thing. That's the only place in the game where you can do that. You can play any number of meeples. And it's also the most flexible location because there are two ways to interact with it. So first of all, you can place any number of bottles onto your half of the tower, kind of like in your half of the building or whatever. So that's the first. That's on the top left. There are also single actions you can take, and those are all money related. This is the only place where you can essentially buy stuff. So one thing I added that was not there, so I've completely removed like being able to gain active workers. That's gone as an option. It's nice because then I can also just like remove that as an icon type. There's just less to teach. But what I've added here that was not here before is that you can, for 2 money, you could go here, place a guy, and you can, the thing that's very different about Syrup Ink is you can place any number of meeples. I guess, what if you played 2 meeples at a time? I don't think you can do that. So I probably need to find a way to show that in iconography. But you could go here, you could place a meeple here on one turn and then place another meeple on another turn. And this doesn't get blocked either, so your opponent can also place meeples here. Now as an option, this third option is to spend 2 money to just drop a cube up here in this area. It's so important, that area is so important because you can spend them as free actions, but also they help you get grants. So I thought, well, you can do this. You're only sending cubes to the town hall from three locations. The warehouse, but it's delayed. Closterby Market, and then Farland Market. And only if it's a bottle, not if it's a barrel. So I also thought it'd be nice for a cost. You could just send a cube up to town hall. It would hurt, but you might be in need. Yeah, you can just do that. So some pretty big changes here, and it's cool because they're actually really subtle changes. They look minor, but I think they really could solve a bottleneck issue, and then the feeling that like you're wasting stuff, wasting meeples, wasting actions. So I'm pretty excited about that. So I think I'll click through a game, a little self-play test, and just see how it feels. So Cardboard Edison submissions are going this month. So I'm thinking about submitting this. Did I submit it last year? I don't think so. But you're also not supposed to submit. You're not supposed to submit if the game is under consideration by a publisher. So I don't know. I wanted to send this back to AEG because I feel like it's getting close, and it's definitely way, way more mature than it was before. Oh, I think the other way I was gonna. So dealing with the first player advantage. Is there one? There might not be, but I saved the second player the action of going to the sugar bush. So maybe that's enough. Okay, so we're assuming that red player is the first player. And a mayor card does come out right away. So this is actually going to cover, that's a little bit unfortunate. Because it just reduces all the flexibility I just built into the game. Okay, well, red can start by, oh, wait a second. This is, yeah, this isn't the right, oh, it is the right number. So the first and third rounds are slightly slower because they have 12 cubes instead of 10. Okay, so I think we'll just do the investment here. And that's fine. Okay, blue. In this playtest, what I really want to remember is, oh, you know what could be kind of interesting here is that blue can do the cheat thing that I described before and take these. And that's an action, so that is their turn. Well, let's see, what can red do? Red can go up here. No, red doesn't have any cubes, so red is definitely going to go here and fill. So this is suddenly a case where red is going to have no action except to suddenly I think I don't like this card. Well, anyway, so blue's going to go here. Drop all 4, I think. Just go big. And why not drop 1 for an extra worker for next round? So they go here. They get the 9 money, so they're 12. So that's pretty cool. But the main point was that they actually, in the near future, can get this card. So red, what is red gonna do? Because this feels lame right here. Yeah, so almost this is actually like a weirdly worst case type of scenario where at the very beginning of the game it just choked up the flexibility that I was trying to build into the game. Okay, so now blue is going to retrieve. 1, 2, 3. So that's the first step. Second step is here. There's nothing to bottle, and they have no income yet. Okay, so now this is a little bit weird in that that was blue's turn. Now red is going to gather. Red also feels kind of disappointed because they wasted this bottling. Like they had nothing to do with that worker, so it was just a waste. Now, what I'm wondering is if blue should actually go for an upgrade first. Well, wait. So if blue goes here, let me just do this. What can red do now? Red has 2 cubes. I think red is gonna fill first. Now blue could force it, or blue could, yeah, because blue doesn't have any cubes. So I think blue has to force it. Yeah, this is already kind of a problem of flow. Red doesn't have enough for an upgrade. And I think red can just go for the money. So let's do this. Red sends a cube up here and rolls. And with a 4, they just gained 6 money. So they're at 9. Okay. So that was red. Now blue can come in here, can afford this, so it's going to ditch these 2 cubes. And then this is going to come over here. Now this is available. And anyway, so red is going to retrieve. So this feels better because red gets to bring these in here. Bring this back. Okay. Blue. What can blue do? Blue has no cubes, but blue can set up a turn by gaining an extra worker for next round for how much? $3? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so it's red. Red has 3 cubes now. Oh, wait, this comes out. I forgot. That's not good that I'm forgetting that. Okay, they need to be able to spend 8 money, but they can do this. Blue is in the way, has not retrieved yet. So what can red do as they wait? Okay, they can do this. They can grab another space here. Blue has to retrieve. 1, 2, 3. This guy goes away, and this guy comes in here. Okay, now red can go here. Ditches these cubes, takes this card. Another one comes out right away, and this goes on Farland Market. So they're paying 8, so go down to 1, but then they gain 12, so at 13, and they have an extra meeple coming. So that worked out. By the way, they both have 1 trophy. Yeah. Okay. So that was red. They're not doing a great job of working on getting grants, but maybe that's fine. Oh, wait, blue. This was blue. Why did I do that? What if that money was worth it? Where did these cubes come from? I don't know. That was weird. So, thanks. So 1, 2. And okay, the other tweak I made was that you can pay 3 to fill this when you fill. So it's not like it's not a free action, but it's when you fill, you can spend 3 to gain 1 to add 1 more. So red, what can red do? Red will fill as well. 1, 2. And I think might as well, because they have, and might as well fill here. Okay. Blue. What does blue want to do? Blue may not want to help red get their payout, but like, I mean, they need cubes. Yeah, this feels a little bit sad, but maybe worth it. Don't know. Yeah, because they still okay. So red is going to retrieve. So 1, 2, 3, and this guy moves over. Then these move in. So I like the flow of this. I think that's working. Still, nobody has income. This is up here. You need 2 or more. Ooh. You do need 2 or more cubes in the town hall. I think blue is interested in an upgrade. It's interesting because this one doesn't cost any thing, but let's say they do the 6, so it's 9, so it drops down to 3, and then they flip here. Okay. Red has lots of choices now. They have the cubes. They don't have. Oh, okay. Oh, if they go there, they don't. They do need to do a little work getting more cubes. So let's say send 1 up here. Okay. And gain $3. Now it's blue. So blue has to retrieve. Blue's not going to get any cubes for retrieving. And they lost this 4th worker. But they have this upgrade. So that anyway, that's retrieve. Now red can go for the upgrade, and I think red is going to go for the staff upgrade. Maybe I should move everything over a little bit. Yeah. Okay, so they went for the staff upgrade. Still have 2 cubes. So I think the next thing that they'll do. Oh, red is gonna go crazy. Wait, they did the staff upgrade, so they need to pay 10. I suppose I need to turn down. Okay, I did. Okay, so that was red taking the upgrade. Is that right? Did I get that right? They paid. Is it blue now? Wait. See, that's even a little distraction. I kind of forget where I'm at. I think it might be red's turn. Yeah. So red can go here to fill. So they take from the supply if there is less. Now we now we pay out. So these are going to get cleared out. That's the first thing. Now we pay out here. So red is actually going to get 10 money, and these are going to go to the grand office. So I think blue is actually suddenly in big picture. Do better, red. Hey, Francisco. I'm actually pretty excited with these changes. I think it is running a lot smoother. I think it probably feels even slightly more sandboxy than it was. So I think it's all working better. What did I just do though? So okay, so they got paid out. They get their 10 money. So that was red's turn. Now this flips and then refills. So this could be interesting because it's going to be a faster round 2 than round 1. But let's see how it goes. What are you working on today, Francisco? Okay, so that was red. What's great for red is when they retrieve, then they're going to have a pretty full garage. So that's good. Blue. What's blue want to do? So they got this. This is still available for blue. And blue can't access Flapjack Feast. Oh, no, I guess they can because they already got it. But it looks like red is probably going to get this one. So I think blue. What can blue do while they need money? Okay, blue can jump in, claim a spot here. Okay. Working on a tutorial video for how I do my first achievement command in live streams. Oh. Sounds very technical. And apparently it's worth having a tutorial video for. Where do you post that stuff? So red is going to retrieve 1, 2, 3, and 4. And these are going to move over. I'm kind of tempted to just drop all these for income. That could be kind of sweet. But blue has 2. Okay, blue can go here now. Send this up here, gain a little money. I think blue will go here next. Okay, red has a choice. Actually, a lot of choices. So we can do upgrade. You can go to the gift shop and unload a bunch on the gift shop for a bunch of money and an extra worker next turn. But that doesn't feel awesome. Well, it'd be kind of cool. Probably post to YouTube and Fire Joy Studios. Cool. Yeah, I really don't know any Twitch kind of stuff. I assume that must be Twitch, right? I don't know what happens if I click on. It doesn't show how many followers. I can't see the easiest way. Oh, actually, maybe I can just do this. I think this achievement works for Twitch and YouTube. Oh, I guess I don't know. I really don't know enough about this. Retro. What the? Oh, look at that. Wait, okay, I am following you. Good. 750. That's crazy. Congratulations. I don't know what all this stuff is. Oh, first time purchaser. Anyway, cool. Okay, so it's Red's turn. Red has a bunch of meeples and is in the Valley of Indecision. Because, oh, you know what? They could go up here to the grant office for a grant, and I think they will. So I think 1, 2 for a grant. Yeah, because they can also get an upgrade. Okay, what grant? Let's say they start going for community projects. Okay, now it's blue. I don't know what that shattering is. Blue's gonna refill. Should they spend 3? I don't know. Red. Now red can come in and grab. So if they lose. Oh, no. A monkey is loose in the sugar shack. Yes. Things are going crazy. So actually, no, they cannot do this first. Let me undo this. Just realized. Because they would have lost these 4 cubes. So instead, their first turn is to come in here, grab this card for 3. 1, 2, 3. And then, okay, because they do have 2 or more in the town hall, 2 or more cubes. Okay, now it's blue. Blue's going to retrieve. And they get these 3 cubes. I wonder if blue needs money. Anyway, now red. Actually, red might as well go for an upgrade because it's free now. So they'll just get the 8. They'll flip this and be able to build barrels. They also gain a trophy because they have 2 upgrades now. And because they have 2 mayor cards. So this comes out now. And this covers the hardware store. So they'll have to get their meeples back in a second. Okay. That was red. Now it's blue. Blue has cubes. Blue has a little money. Does not have 3 trophies though. So this is actually a rich gets richer problem right now. Especially with a trophy limitation. What do they need though? So they need 3 trophies. How are they going to get trophies? And they can't get them by upgrading. They don't have enough money to come up here. Maybe they do that though. Maybe okay. So how do they get? Huh. Oh, I think I know. Yeah, okay. So first thing is to go here, drop off a cube up here. And get 3 money. 1, 2, 3. Now it's red's turn. What is red gonna do? Probably just come in here, get some money for the future. Okay, now blue can spend one of these, gain 2 money. This is maybe risky and not good, but at least they're denying. So they're going to spend 10 and drop a cube up here. So they're gaining a worker for next turn and denying red the super cheap one, at least. So they gain a trophy. So they're at 2 and gain a worker for next turn. So they're going to retrieve in a second. Unfortunately, they don't have. Yeah, I think that was actually a big mistake. Oh, they can get money from here. Well, okay, red's going to retrieve. Okay, they have their 4 like this. Blue is going to retrieve. And now they're both suffering because they don't have cubes. They used all their workers out in town rather than to gain cubes. Okay, so first, actually, blue still has a cube though. Okay, so instead, so blue is going to do this. So blue's going to go over here, send a cube up like this. No, send a cube over here. That's what it is. So, because what that does is gets 4 plus 3. So they get 7 money. So they're at 8 suddenly. That's good. Yeah, they're playing a kind of catch up. Well, red definitely will come in and get cubes going. Blue also needs to do something like that. But what can blue do? Blue can go over here and spend a little money. Should I do this? No. Let's have blue fill as well. So now the question is, are they going to find stuff to do? Oh, 1, 2, 3. I think red will have also filled the green spot there. Okay, I'm almost at my hour here, so I'm just going to finish up. Almost done with the second round, and then the third round is going to go really fast, I'm pretty sure. Excuse me. Blue, okay, just refilled. Is red going to use... Yeah, why not? Red, oh wait, red will do this. Blue. Blue needs upgrades bad, but this is in the way. And blue does not have a great way of It would feel horrible to retrieve right now. They still have 2 workers. So I guess he forces it. Blue forces it over here. Now it's red. Red has 3 cubes. So red can jump. Oh. Red still hasn't gone for an upgrade. By the way, I am liking the amount of area, like to actually represent the meeples on the cards fully rather than the tiny meeples. I think this is working better. I think red's going to do it. Red's going to go for it. Dump those, get this card, and they get 2 meeples for next round, and they gain a cube, which empties this. I think whoever suggested that is a genius. Was that you? Did you talk about putting the full meeple on the thing? Because I think one of my in-person playtesters said it too. So it really is good. So if you suggested that, thank you so much. Yeah, I think what it did, Francisco, is it forced me to reconsider the amount of space other things were taking up. So that's why I decided to put these tiny icons up here in the corner and like reduce the size of the buildings or remove the buildings altogether. Like Syrup Inc. has no more building represented. It was just noise. It was just extra busyness on the card. So that was really great. It's funny, like how limitations are so amazing, like how they're so important. Like, oh, I only have so much space. I think this change is important, but like, what am I going to do over here? And then it just leads to a bunch of positive updates. Yeah, more functional. Because I think what I pictured was actually like a little town, and maybe I imagine you don't remember, but on Farland Market, I had the effect on the card for a while. So it was like you go to the market, you go to the card, and on the market icon or illustration itself, there was the effect. And Now that's not the case. So I'm taking attention away from the actual illustration, shrinking it so there's more white space. I think it's much, much better. So anyway, where are we? So red, got that. I think I just finished using that. So they also get another trophy. That's why I think this trophy restriction is not good. I kind of need to note that. But anyway, I think it's blue now. Oh, because this is gonna flip. These get paid out, so both players get 5 money, and these both go. Oh, red loses theirs because they never got the grant upgrade. Okay, so then we fill with 12 cubes. Yeah, I think the flow here is quite good. I'm still feeling a restriction with what to do with extra meeples. So I almost think that like removing the syrup ink one is probably better, just so that's always available, and then that way there'd be only 6 cards that pop up and they cover these. It hurts to cover up the hardware store as well. But maybe what I would do is put syrup ink, which is this card. I would put syrup ink and replace the trophy one that I was just complaining about. The trophy restriction that's on here. Yeah, because they're 2 trophies behind. Blue is. Anyway, okay, so that gets paid out. That all happened. Now it's blue's turn. And 1 worker. And 3 cubes. So maybe blue actually bites the bullet here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, don't forget this guy. House. So this is a money requirement. And when blue retrieves, now they're going to have to remember that they actually get an income. Okay, red. Red has 2 cubes. And they don't have a great way of getting... Oh, maybe red goes here too. Oh, no. Red goes here. Wait, red was there. What do I do about that? Okay, maybe that's not good. Let's say red goes here. What do they do with their cubes? They just kind of dump them up here so that at least they get the 1 money when they retrieve. Okay, so blue retrieves 1, 2, 3, gains 2 money, has 10, so now they can go and get the upgrade they've been needing for a while. So that's probably the right thing. Red needs to retrieve. What I like here is that the players have swapped back and forth between like something like who's retrieving first. So that's why I think the first player advantage is not super important, but the second player needs a little something. The thing is, because you can choose whether, oh wow, red has 6 meeples but no cubes. So they're definitely going to be filling, and anyway, so need to get this upgrade. Upgrade for 10. So they get their extra meeple. It might be too little too late. We'll see. Okay, red's definitely going here. All right, blue has 1 meeple left. No cube. So blue is refilling. 2 and 3. Okay, red might wait. Did red spend 3? 1, 2, 3. I think maybe, right? They're hurting for cubes. So let's say they did, and they want to rush the end of the game because they're ahead by 2 trophies at least. So blue retrieves 1, 2, 3, and 4 finally. Plus they get their $2. Oh, it's only 1. Okay, what I did was just illegal. Francisco, you forget that, okay? No, what they would have done, let's say they spend and they spent that their cube up here. Yeah, good. Thank you, Francisco. What are they doing with all these meeples? I think they force it like this. 1, 2, 3. Should they go for barrels? I don't think so. Actually, yes, because okay, that was red. Blue, what are you up to? So blue goes here. Oh, wait, no, they need to force it as well. So what red is going to do is they're actually going to spend a barrel up here. And send 2 meeples. So they get to roll twice. Okay, they get 6 plus 6, so they get 12. So 10, 12. So now they have the money they need for this. They don't have the cubes. Okay, now blue can go here and spend 2. 1, 2 to gain a trophy. So they're at 3, and red is at 4. Let's double check. So 1, 2, 3. Red has 2 upgrades, so that's 4. And how about blue? So blue has 1, 2. 2 upgrades is 3. So that's right, that's 3. Ah, they have 4. Wait a second, they have 4. Because they have this one community project. Okay, that's good. They're tied. So that's something. That is something. So because blue is focusing on getting trophies from here, whereas red is focusing on getting trophies from mayor cards. So now the question is, who can get this trophy first? Blue is way behind in money. So I think, let's see. So blue just went here, placed these cubes. So now it's red. Red could finally get their grant. I feel like that might be something to do right now. Let's do it. So red goes up here. What grants should they get? Should they get 1,000,000 meeples? I was thinking of limiting meeples so that they only get as many as are left. So they would get 3 extra plus 4. So they'd have 7 meeples. This is a much weaker option now because cubes are so hard to get. Although I guess you could kind of like save up. I hadn't really thought much about that. Okay. Where was I? Oh, red is getting a grant. So let's say to rush the community projects at this point, it's probably good to reduce the cost of community projects. Oh, what's blue gonna do? Blue will refill. Okay, so it's coming up on the last couple turns. And where are we here? So red needs to retrieve 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, red actually might be in some trouble because they have no cubes to work with. Blue's about to retrieve. So if blue can get some money, actually, here we go. So blue is going to go there, send a cube over here, and gain 3 from that and 4 from here, so 7. So back up to 9. And then could get to 11. Yeah, this is actually kind of interesting. So can have 11. Oh, Interesting. Okay, so okay, so that was blue, and now red. But I think, hello, Seth. Welcome. I appreciate this, Monsieur Cable Top. I watched what was that? Oh, we watched the French language films, or kind of mini series, The Three Musketeers. That was pretty fun. But they were done like dubbed in English, so it was one of those like mismatched lips kind of things. But just watched The Eagle Has Landed, which is a 1977 film about like a fictional plot to abduct Winston Churchill. And it was interesting to see that they seem to care very little about accents in that movie. So you had Robert. There was a really weird mix of people in that movie. Robert Duvall. It is it is the new series. There are 2 parts out right now. They're in French, but we watched it dubbed in English. Yeah. One of them was like Madam something. I actually started listening to The Three Musketeers, the actual novel, and it was awesome. But it's so long. Yeah, where is it? Is it this one? It's this one. Yeah. It was really well done. I mean, I think so. The production value is pretty high. I think it's the most expensive French language movie or series ever made, or something like that. It was good. 2 parts, and I think that was the first book. I think were the first 2 parts, and then I think they want to make more, like with The Man in the Iron Mask or something like that. I thought it was pretty good. Here is The Eagle Has Landed. But you know what? I rarely ever just watch stuff. Oh, 1976. And okay, yeah. Okay. Robert Duvall was like this German guy. So his accent was fair to mid, not bad. Donald Sutherland was supposed to be this Irish guy, was really bad. And then Michael Caine was interesting because he was like German, but educated in the UK or something like that. But he didn't have his like Cockney thing. I didn't really understand what was happening with his accent. But then the others were also like a real mix. So I mean, I know accents tend to just be stereotypical in movies anyway, but for them to be so bad was almost jarring to me. Okay, anyway, I'm almost done here with this game. Whose turn? So I think blue gained some money. So red has to for sure gain the rest of these. Oh, only two, but they could pay for 3. I think they will. But this means they only have 2 turns left, so I don't know what they should do. Oh no, they want to do this. They want to drain the sugar bush, but they're not going to have the turns they need. So this is one issue I'm having, is like how to end the game. So let's say red drains the sugar bush. There's no payouts. There's nothing to Oh, wow. I think blue might have pulled it off here. Let's say red drains it, maybe a little over No, I don't know. Let's say red only does this. I just don't. Red wants this card. No, so let's let that happen. So they pay 3 for it. 1, 2, 3. Where was it here? 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now blue retrieves and gains 2 money of income for it. And maybe red is kind of forgetting, and this moves over. So this would have moved over. Then blue would have received the income. Okay, now red, what are they going to do? So red needs to force this over to have some cubes to work with. And what they're planning to do, see, because that was both players getting another turn. And I feel like that's really a loss. So maybe you play until what? Until both garages are empty? I think so, right? Well, anyway, it needs a tie because so it's blue's turn. So blue is definitely going up here. Actually, first blue needs to spend this to gain 2 money. 1, 2. Then blue is going up here and claiming this spot for 12. Gains a trophy and a worker for next round. Yeah, see, this is tricky because now what? So red has the cubes and the money they need. Oh, just barely has them. No, they don't have the money they need. I think they might have screwed. Oh, no. They never paid. Well, yes, they did. They paid to fill. So they didn't have. I think if I was zoomed in, I probably would have. I thought it was 15. So they don't have the cubes they need anyway. And then blue just blocked them from this area up here. So what can red do in the meantime? Oh, red can upgrade. So red can upgrade for 6. What is it, 16? So down to 10. So this gets flipped. And now they gain 1 more. So they're both at 5. And I think, I don't know, it feels protracted at this point. I don't know. I'll finish it out so the garages are empty. So one thing, so it's gonna come down to money, right? Because yeah, so let's go here. Oh, no, I think red's got it because of the Serpink. What was I doing? Blue is gonna get the 7. Get the 7 from there. 8. Okay, so red's gonna retrieve. Three, 4, and gain 1 money. Yeah, I don't know what to do right now. I do know that I need to get back to schoolwork. Yeah, cubes are a lot harder to get than I was hoping, so the gift shop really loses. I think it loses its value because you're very rarely going to get 6 cubes. And it's a little bit crazy to spend 2. I don't know, maybe 1 meeple here is fine. What's blue doing? Blue has no cubes here. Is blue just gonna retrieve? Is that crazy? And they gain 2. Yeah, so red is gonna get it with these 3 cubes right here. So they gain a trophy 6. And blue, there really isn't. And this is empty, so what is blue gonna do with their last? Nothing, right? Oh no. Actually, blue blue still loses, but they at least get to tie because they upgrade. So it's 6 money, I think. So they both end the game with 6 trophies, but red ends the game. Oh, it's not over. So what is red going to do in the meantime? Probably nothing, right? They don't have any cubes. They can't do anything. Yeah, what is red going to do? I guess when one player has run out of cubes from their garage after the sugar bushes run out of cubes for the 3rd time, I think that's it. Maybe the other player gets 1 more turn or something like that. Well, anyway, I think that was actually a kind of fun ending. Kind of busy. I don't know if it made any sense, but I feel really good about the changes. It still feels slightly tight. I might eliminate the syrup ink. This actually worked out really well. The flapjack feast was pretty cool. And the red player never actually used their grand upgrade. Oh, these would have been gone. Anyway, I feel good about this. I feel like it's. Oh shoot! You know what I should have done is saved it. I did not. Okay. Yeah, these. I'll just reset everything and save it. Yeah, I think in general the changes going on here really help gameplay, and I'm really excited about that. What was it? Oh, what do I do about the cubes? No, what do I do with the meeples when this flips? That was a question I have. Or maybe I don't like it, but maybe this is the location over here for the sugar bush. I don't like that at all, but it would solve the problem. Like the weird thing about if this flips, what do you do with the meeples? Yeah. Is this the right number? Oh, it was 6. Should be 12. Yeah, I think. Yeah, I feel good. The flow is much better, and I think it is still very tactical, so I'm excited about that. And when players retrieve stuff, I think is kind of neat because that's like part of the tactical nature of the game. Because at some point you retrieving opens up space for the other player to get in there. And where was it? Oh, yeah, I think it's working. It's working better than it was before. I could say that. Oh, these all need to get flipped. At least I believe so. It's closer to the target experience I'm imagining, I think. Okay. I think that's it for me. This is about an hour and a half. Thanks for hanging out, guys. Hope you have a productive afternoon/evening. The number of cubes worked out. There were some extra evens. That was good. So what is that total? That's 24 plus 12. So that's cool. 36. 36 and maybe 10 meeples. 10 meeples each. Right now there are only... Yeah, I can do this. Okay. Very cool. Oh, I realized that the starting situation, I think the main difference is that I think this should be the the main difference. So what can you do? No, I think it should still be 2, actually. It should be 2 and 2. Just like that. Okay, I think that is an up-to-date prototype. Let me save that. Okay, that's it for me.